Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to these sources and music in the background and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and you viewer are you. Today is Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, September 26, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? As soon as I find the thing, there it is. Starting us off, is the music a little loud? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just my speakers. I'm gonna lower it a little bit, just by 5%. Anyway, 46 BC, Julius Caesar dedicated a temple to his mythical ancestor Venus Genetrix in accordance with a vow he made at the Battle of Pharsalus. All right. We also have, jumping on up to 1212, Golden Bull of Sicily certified hereditary royal title in Bohemia for Primoslade dynasty. All right. 1396, Ottoman Sultan Bayezid I beheaded hundreds of crusaders after the Battle of Nicopolis. Yikes. 1404, year not found, 404. Brussels Barbarents / Limburgzee Audit Office was established. Alright. 1509, a storm surge caused the second Kalmsas and Damian flood in East Friesland and the Netherlands, destroying dikes and devastating coastal towns. Yep. I'm talking about, just yesterday, I believe, it was, Netherlands, Norway, all that stuff, well, not Norway, Netherlands, I when it comes to Northern Europe, there's so many interchangeable names it seems and whatnot, but one of those countries is always at a battle with water, always at a war with water. My brain's not working today. 1580 actually, Francis Drake completed circumnavigation of the world, sailing into Plymouth aboard the Golden Hind. All right. Moving on up to 1665, we have height of the Great Plague of London as 7,165 people died throughout the previous week. Now that is a real plague, If we were faced with something like that, then people actually would be scared and panicking, and that's probably what they're trying to do. 1680, tax revolt in Gorensham due to a tax on cereal. Yeah, come on, man. Let me eat my cereal. My Golden Grahams. Honey crusted wheat smacks, whatever. Don't tax that. It's my breakfast. We also have 1687, Acropolis in Athens attacked by Venetian army trying to eject Turks, damaging the Parthenon. So yeah, that's why we have, it's kind of like a little bit of a ruin there. Maybe that section is gone because of that battle. I'm not sure. 1688, City Council of Amsterdam voted to support Prince William of Orange's invasion of England, which became known as the Glorious Revolution in the Netherlands. 1733, France, Spain, and Sardinia signed an anti-German covenant. 1738, Scottish philosopher David Hume entered into a contract to publish the first 2 volumes of his seminal work, A Treatise of Human Nature, with John Noon in London. I wonder if he partaked in the Devil's Lettuce, because then he would be High Noon. And, I don't even play Overwatch, but I know some of the memes. 1772, New Jersey passed bill requiring a license to practice medicine. I wholeheartedly agree with that, You need to get proven that you can work on humans. 1783, Fayette County, Pennsylvania was created. All right. 1786, Britain and France signed a trade agreement. All right. 3 years later, 1789, Edmund Randolph became the first U.S. Attorney General. All right. We're going to have one or two more firsts here. 1789 as well, Thomas Jefferson was appointed the first U.S. Secretary of State. John J. Jingleheimer Smith, hey, that's my name too, became the first U.S. Chief of Justice. All right. What else do we got? 1792, Mark David Ladsource began accusing Maximilien Robespierre of wanting a dictatorship for France. And yeah, Maximilien Robespierre, he was one of the pivotal people in the French Revolution that overthrew the monarchy after they helped us do our own revolution. And the people are like, hey, you know what? Why don't we boot our monarchy like those Yanks did? And so they did. Vive la France. 1810, new act of secession was adopted by the Reichstag of the Estates, and Jean-Baptiste Bernadotte became heir to the Swedish throne. All right. 5 years later, in 1815, we have Russia, Prussia, and Austria signed the Holy Alliance. Now, let's look that up. What is the Holy Alliance here? Let's see. Please pay no mind to the plants growing out of a fingernail. The Holy Alliance was a coalition linking the monarchist great powers of Austria, Prussia, and Russia, which was created after the final defeat of Napoleon at the behest of Emperor Alexander I of Russia, and signed in Paris at September 26, 1815, as I said earlier. So for further reading on this subject matter, please refer to the underbar of the description below. These links will be down there post-stream, as per usual. We got to move on up here to 1824. Kapiolani defied Pele, the Hawaiian volcano goddess, and lived. So, all right. That's probably what got rid of a lot of their superstitions there. 1831, Robert Montgomery Byrd's play The Gladiator premiered in New York City, and I wonder if that was the inspiration for, the movie that we had. There's 1,001 Gladiator movies out there nowadays anyway. So, 1835, Giacinto Donizetti's opera, Lucia di Lammermoor, premiered at the Teatro di San Carlo in Naples, Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, which is now Italy. Yes, Italy. Before the Roman Empire, Italy was a bunch of different separate city-states and whatnot, very much like Greece, very much like a lot of places, and then they went through a reunification with Rome, and then eventually Rome fell and all that stuff, and then they kind of reverted back to individual little parcels of land and whatnot, and then Italy got reunified later on, and it's been unified since. So, what else do we have here? 1872, the first Shriners Temple, called Mecca, was established in New York City. All right. 2 years later, the first Grand International Rifle match was held. All right, cool. 1874. We also have 1876, the first Belgian parachute jump. Glorieux. All right, so now you have reigning Belgians. 1884, Suriname Army shot on British Indian contract workers, killing 7. That's not nice. 1887, Emile Berliner patented the gramophone. Well, let's take a look at that, the gramophone. All right. Let's see. I want this over here. Okay, gramophone. Oh, that. Okay. Yeah. Music. 1890, the U.S. stopped minting $1 and $3 gold coin and 3-cent piece. Huh. Well, we still have a $2 bill. I used to collect those until we got broken into, and my entire collection of that and Drummer Boy quarters was stolen. 1892, the first public appearance of John Philip Sousa's New Marine Band at Stillman Music Hall in Plainfield, New Jersey occurred. All right. Bandmaster there. 1901, Great Britain annexed the Ashanti Kingdom and placed it under the governor of the Gold Coast. It's now Ghana. 1904, George Bernard Shaw's How He Lied to Her Husband premiered in New York City. What? Oh, that's a recipe for disaster. Whoops. 2 years later, Pittsburgh's lefty Liefeld no-hit Phillies 8-0 in a 6-inning game. I guess they called it before the 7-inning stretch. It's like, hey, 8-0. We know who's going to win this. Come on, let's pack it in. 1907, New Zealand and Newfoundland each became dominions within the British Empire. All right. 1 year later, Major League Baseball Chicago Cubs' Ed Rilubach became the only pitcher to throw doubleheader shutout, winning 3-0 and 5-0 over the Super Bass in Washington Park in Brooklyn, New York. All right. 1914, Federal Trade Commission was formed to regulate interstate commerce. The good old FTC. While that was happening, Germans arrest A. Max, the mayor of Brussels. And I think we're going to be talking about an arrest as well. Another arrest. It's kind of funny. 1916, bishops spoke against Catholics and trade unions. Okay, he doesn't want religious people working with the trade unions or something. I don't know. If anybody knows more, you know what? Let me do a surface level scan on this potential rabbit hole here. Here we go. There's a whole thing. Well, no, damn it. I keep getting tricked. Okay, is this going to give me some actual meat? Oh, okay, yeah, it will. Okay. So if anybody is interested in this particular subject matter, once again, under our description below, link will be there after the live stream. 1918, we have the beginning of the Meuse-Argonne offensive. More than 1 million U.S. soldiers in the largest and most costly offensive of the First World War. Wow. 1 million. More than 1 million. That's... Can you fathom, like, 1 million soldiers out there fighting? Like, that's just one side, There's even more soldiers that they're fighting on the other side. This is just one side. Holy. 1923, the Commonwealth Conference was held in London, where Britain recognized the right of the Dominions to make treaties with foreign powers. All right, yeah, give them a little bit of, like, self-governments and all that whatnot. 1925, the Italian sub Sebastiano Venero lost off Sicily with 54 dead. I did not even realize Italy had submarines back then. Like, 1926, the J.B. Fagan stage drama And So to Bed, based on the life of Samuel Pepys, premiered in London. Well, there's a lot of people out there who can learn how to go to bed at a decent time, so that way they don't wake up feeling like death and having to go to work. Time management. Learn it. 1926, shortest doubleheader. Yanks lost 6-1 in 72 minutes and lost again 6-2 in 55 minutes to Browns. Yanks had already clinched the pennant, though. But wow, they did bad, and then they did worse. Well, like how is it? It's 6-1 in 72, and it's 6-2 in 55. So they lasted longer, but had 1 point. Then they lasted shorter, but had 2 points. So how does that play out? How's that balance? Let me know. 1933, Sidney Kingsley's play Men in White. Here come the Men in White, Galaxy Defenders. Premiered in New York City, later received the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1934. That's interesting. We have the Men in Black and, now the Men in White. Well, I guess the Men in White came first, question mark. 1934, British ocean liner RMS Queen Mary was launched, won the Blue Ribbon for fastest passenger crossing of the Atlantic, 1936 and 1938 through 52. Retired in 1967 and is permanently moored and converted to a hotel in Long Beach, California. And I've been there, and it is haunted. And they have, like, tours and whatnot, and, Halloween's coming up. Maybe I should go there on Halloween. We'll see. 1944, Soviet forces occupied Estonia. All right. And while that was happening during World War II as well, the Battle of Arnhem ended in Allied failure as German forces link up on both sides of the lower Rhine River and mop up the last British resistance. Yeah, I bet Bernard Montgomery had the big old L on his forehead. Rest in peace, Smash Mouth lead singer. I don't remember your name. We also have 1945, all old Dutch banknotes declared invalid. That's interesting. 1 year later, 1946, we have the first editions of The Adventures of Tintin, was published by Hergé and Le Journal de Tintin, continues until 1933, June. 1993. I was just wrong on every level there. June of 1993. At least I had 1-3 correct. So, 1948, Boston Braves won their first National League championship since 1914. Wow. That's a while. Let's do some basic math here. What was that? 1948. So 48 minus 14. 34 years it took. Wow. And I'm sure a lot of you guys did that in your head. I'm just very math illiterate. 1949, we have the groundbreaking ceremony for the Hollywood sign in Hollywood, Los Angeles. The old Hollywood land sign was torn down. Reconstruction of a replacement began with just Hollywood. And then at least twice it's been vandalized, or quote-unquote vandalized, to say Hollyweed. But I think that's a better term for it. So either Hollyweird or Hollyweed, 1950, because of the forest fire in British Columbia, a blue moon appeared in England. Huh. That's interesting. British Columbia is on the west coast of Canada. So you're talking about, like, on the other side of the hemisphere almost, right there. What else do we have? Sorry, had to sneeze. What else do we have? 1950, Philadelphia pitcher Jim Constantly made record 71st appearance of the year. Well, I mean, he's constantly. While that was happening, United Nations troops in the Korean War recaptured South Korean capital of Seoul. Yeah, it turned out to be a complete total stalemate. 1 year later, Professor Youngblood demonstrated artificial heart in Paris. What a fitting name. Youngblood, demonstrating artificial heart. He's young, he's full of blood, he's making something that's full of blood, or that works with that pumping blood. And he's young, you know, like he's like, you know, newfangled technology, like, you know. 1953, the Polish government fired/imprisoned Cardinal Wyszynski. I told you it'd be funny. Like, he was fired and imprisoned. You'd think, like, if he was in prison, he'd be naturally fired, but no, like, they fired him and then imprisoned him. Like, no, you're fired and you're going to jail. A lot of people in politics today could take a use of that lesson right there. 1953 as well, U.S. and Spain signed a defense treaty, 4 bases in Spain, 4 U.S. bases in Spain. It's really interesting. I saw that earlier today. I'm just like, we had a war with that country. Well, we actually had a war with England too. We're allies with them as well. We had a war with Japan back in the time when we were allied with China. Now we're not. So, wow, how things change. 1954, the Japanese ferry boat Toya Maru sunk in the Strait of Tsugaru during a typhoon, causing the deaths of 1,153 people. Jeez. And I think we're going to talk about another overloaded ferry boat in a little bit here. But 1954 as well, Yogi Berra played his only game at third, and Mickey Mantle played shortstop. All right. 1 year later, New York Stock Exchange experienced the worst price decline since 1929. Oh, wow, that's the beginning of the Great Depression. 1957, Leonard Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim, and Jeremy Robbins' musical West Side Story opened at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City, ran for 732 performances, and won 2 Tony Awards. He had a good play right there. West Side Story. 1959, Milwaukee Braves' Warren Spahn became the winningest NL lefty, National League, not NFL. This is baseball, not football. Like, man, am I having like a constant like brain fart? Like, what's going on? My entire life is just a brain fart, I guess. 1959, Typhoon Vera hit Japanese island of Honshu, causing the deaths of 4,580 people, with an additional 658 missing. Yikes. I hope some of those people got found. I don't know. That's really, really devastating. 1960, we have the first of 4 TV debates between Nixon and Kennedy taking place, being held in Chicago. And while that was happening, Cuban leader Fidel Castro delivered a 4-hour and 29-minute speech at the United Nations. All right. 1961, Roger Maris hit home run number 60 off Jack Fisher, tying Babe Ruth's record. All right. Why is Babe Ruth not a picture in here? I know you can put 3 people in here. You just have... Maybe because he's not looking to the left. He's just like, what's that? And that guy's like, oh yeah. There are 2 types of people. 1962, LA Dodgers shortstop Maury Wills became the first player in MLB history to steal 100 bases en route to 104. 1962 as well, the TV comedy series Beverly Hillbillies premiered on CBS. And while that was going on, Yemen Arab Republic proclaimed that this is their national day. All right. We also have 1963, the first edition of New York City Review of Books. All right. Lee Harvey Oswald traveled on a Continental Trailways bus to Mexico City, Mexico. Yeah, for whatever reason, the source decided to follow the path that Lee Harvey Oswald took before he assassinated JFK, or allegedly assassinated JFK. Grassy knoll theory and all that stuff. 1964, the Braves at 25 and Phillies at 18 set record by using 43 players in 9 innings. Wow, what the... You're shuffling people around so far. Did some of the fans get involved? Like, that's a lot of people. 1964 as well, the TV sitcom Gilligan's Island, starring Bob Denver as Gilligan, debuted on CBS. 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. 1965, Minnesota gains its first American League pennant by defeating Washington 2-1. 1966, Staten Island, the first icebreaker to enter San Francisco Bay. All right. We also have 1968, the first broadcast of Hawaii 5-0 on CBS TV. About cops, 5-0 being police. 1968, theater censorship ended in Britain. I remember when they were talking about censoring it, so yeah, okay. 1969, Apple Records released the Beatles' 11th studio album, Abbey Road. Their final recordings as a quartet tops the charts in 11 countries. Why is that not highlighted? That is a massive one, especially with the conspiracy that came out with the crosswalk thing. You know, the what's-his-face not in step with the other three. 1969, the TV sitcom The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. Created by Sherwood Sharps, premiered on ABC in the U.S. Alright, that's a good, it was a decent show. 1970, the Laguna Fire started in San Diego County, California, burning 175,425 acres, or 710 square kilometers. Damn. 1 year later, MP David Bleakley resigned in protest over the introduction of internment and the lack of any new political initiatives by the Northern Ireland government. Huh. Alright. I know I'm not keeping up on both sides. I'm trying here, guys. I'm not cross-eyed. I have to focus on one thing and the other. 1972, U.S. Museum of Immigration was dedicated. Alright. And while that was going on, Norway rejected membership in European Common Market, so they were not allowed to come into the Common Market. That's not cool. 1973, Concorde made its first non-stop crossing of the Atlantic, Washington, D.C. to Paris, in record-breaking time, 3 hours and 33 minutes. Wow. Wow, that used to take months of sea travel. Now, ship, there you are. Man. 1973, as well, Turkey's state of siege ended after 2.5 years. What was going on with that? We also have Wilt Chamberlain signed with the ABA, the American Basketball Association, San Diego Conquistadors. And that was before they got dissolved and absorbed into the NBA entirely. 1974, Apple Records released John Lennon's 5th studio album, Walls and Bridges, in the U.S. Features #1 single, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, with Elton John, and #9, Dream. 1976, Phillies clinched their first National League East Division title. 1 year later, the Cleveland Browns played their first overtime game, defeating the Patriots 30-27. Alright. Now, the Patriots would go on to become the New England Tom Brady's, which now there's the Tampa Bay Tom Brady. So, 1977, Sir Freddie Laker began cut-rate SkyTrain service, London to New York. Cut-rate SkyTrain service. Like, is that like an above-ground thing? Like, what? Hold on, let me look at this. Okay, that, yeah, Sky. So it's above ground, like, light rail. Oh man, that was a sneeze. What else do we got here? 1978, New York District Court Judge Constance Baker Motley ruled that women sports writers cannot be banned from locker rooms. Okay. Well, make sure that everybody is dressed, though. You know, you don't want somebody to become a sports writer just to get in there to see a whole bunch of naked, sweaty guys in the locker room, you know, taking advantage of things to get your own personal wants and dreams done. We also have 1978, RR clerks went on strike, halting more than 2/3 of rail service. You know what? This makes me wonder, are male sports writers banned from female locker rooms? You know? Like, I don't know. 1979, 1984, summer LA Olympic coverage was sold to ABC for $225 million. Wow. Wow. Another sneeze incoming, sorry. Don't you hate sneezing? Like, sneezing is so annoying. You just want to, like, just cut your nose off, you know? But then you look like an elephant without a trunk, and those things look weird. 1982, Knight Rider, starring David Hasselhoff. Don't hassle the Hoff unless he's drunk and eating a burger sideways. Debuted on NBC. And 1 year later, Ali Haji Sheikh kicked a 56-yard field goal, a New York Giants record. Alright. 1983 as well, Australia the second won the America's Cup Yacht Race, the first non-U.S. winner. I wonder what happened to Australia that won. So, Australia the second, though. 1983 as well, cosmonauts Titov and Sterenkolov were saved from an exploding Soyuz T-10. Yikes. We also have Soviet military officer Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov averted a worldwide nuclear war by judging supposed missile attack from the U.S. in error. That should be highlighted. That is massive. That could have ended the entire world. Why is it the Oreo cream and not the cookie? You know? That should totally be like one of the most significant events in all of history because it averted a war. So, God, my source just does not know what is significant and what's not. 1984, 5,251 people turned out to see the Phillies play the New York Mets at Shea Stadium. All right. We also have Britain and China initial agreement returned Hong Kong to China in 1997. Okay. While that was going on, 1984 as well, Dutch Queen Beatrice opened a university. Okay. 1985, Tunisia dropped diplomatic relations with Libya. Uh-oh, that's not good. 1986, Bobby Patrick Duffy returned to TV show Dallas. His death was attributed to his wife Pam's bad dream. Erases all of the last season. Wow, of all the ways to just be like trope. Oh, it was all a dream. 1986 as well, Run DMC was the first rap group to hit the top 10 with Raising Hell. Hell yeah. 1987, my year, Padres Benito Santiago set rookie hitting streak to 28 games. All right. 1 year later, Canadia's Ben Johnson was stripped of his 100-meter gold, failing a drug test. Whoopsie doodle. 1988 as well, New York City's Rockefeller Center was declared a national landmark. Yep. We also have Polish Communist Party picked propaganda chief Rakowski as new prime minister. That is concerning, especially with recent happenings, politically, geopolitically, involving a certain war that might be happening in Eastern Europe right now? Question mark? 1989, last Vietnamese soldiers left Cambodia. All right, that took a while. Moving on up to 1990, the Motion Picture Association of America created the new NC-17 rating. Yep. 1991, a 2-year experimental Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona began. I thought about going and visiting that place, but they had, mandates of a certain thing to go over your face, so hell no, You can take your mandate and shove it up your poop chute. 1992 as well, we have the first time a positional player pitched for the New York Mets, Phil Pecota, in 19-2, lost to Pirates. Wow. 1992 as well, Jimmy Connors defeated Martina Navratilova 7-5, 6-3. All right. 1992 as well, Nigerian Air Force Hercules C-130 crashed 3 minutes after takeoff from Lagos, Nigeria, killing 163. Yikes. Rest in peace. Roseanne Barr Arnold got a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, and I wonder if they removed it after they canceled her for her Ambien remarks on Twitter. 1992, Chirashiro Kyushi rediscovered the comet Swift-Tuttle, the first time it had been spotted since 1862. Wow. That's remarkable. 1993, Cubs bat out of order against the Pirates in second inning. Okay. 1993, French Williams driver Alain Prost finished second in Portuguese Grand Prix at Estoril to clinch his fourth F1 World Drivers' Championship. After a race, Prost announced his retirement at the end of the season. Alright, well, relax. He's still alive. Cool. 1993, Seattle's Randy Johnson joined the 300 Strikeout Club. Alright. 1994, Switzerland banned racist propaganda. Well, that's up to speculation. What do you consider racist, Like, you can be like, soda's a product of white supremacy. Ban soda because it's racist. Like, that's all it takes, So, I gotta be careful with banning things, 1994, earliest first-class cricket in Ost season. QLD versus Western Prov. Okay, whatever. Cricket. 1996, San Francisco Giant Barry Bonds was second player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. Wow. All right. 1997, an earthquake struck the Italian regions of Umbria and the Marche, causing part of the Basilica of St. Francis at Assisi to collapse. Yikes. I wonder if everyone was okay. 1999, Ryder Cup Golf, the Country Club, Brookline, U.S. won 14.5 to 13.5 after trailing 10-6 going into the singles. Won first 6 matches to set up victory. Poor U.S. crowd and team behavior heavily criticized. Moving on up to the next millennium, we are in the home stretch, people. Just 23 years left to go. Well, 22, I guess. In the year 2000, anti-globalization protests in Prague, some 20,000 protesters turned violent during the IMF and World Bank summits. Yeah, we are not yet evolved as a species to cooperate globally. We have too much divisiveness and differences to really, Like, we got to start looking at our similarities, praising, what we have in common, not, looking at what we have uncommon and then demonizing everybody who's not us. That's what everyone who's not me is a Nazi. Shut up. 2002, overcrowded Senegalese ferry MV Jola capsized off the coast of Gambia, killing more than 1,000. Yep. As I said, don't overload your boats. Buoyancy has limits. 2004, Canadian runner Ed Whitlock, at the age of 73, became the first person over 70 to complete a marathon in under 3 hours, 2 hours, 54 minutes, and 48 seconds at Toronto Marathon, Toronto, Ontario. All right, well, tells me I need to start getting, actually, no, maybe he can't because he has artificial knees. I was going to say, my dad is like 77 years old now. Hold on, so let's do some quick math. 2023 minus 1946. 77, yeah, okay. Maybe he can take that record if I get him trained up enough. And he's a Canadian, too, so yeah. Woo! 2006, Martin Scorsese's The Departed, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and Mark Wahlberg, premiered in New York City, received the Best Picture in 2007. That's a movie I have yet to see. 2007 as well, Shinzo Abe formally ended his first term as Prime Minister of Japan. May you rest in peace, you saint among men. You helped Japan out a lot, and then everyone who tries to help people gets killed. What the hell, Jesus Christ, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., JFK, Shinzo Abe, Gandhi was assassinated. Yeah, he was. Mother Teresa, I think, was the only one who... How did Mother Teresa die? Did Mother Teresa die? Heart attack. Okay, so she died of natural causes, at least. In 2008, Swiss pilot and inventor Yves Rossi became the first person to fly a jet engine-powered wing across the English Channel. Flying wing. All right. Do I have any live chats? No, I don't. 2009, Typhoon Kitsana, 2009, hit the Philippines, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, causing 700 deaths. Jeez, man. 2010, TV period drama Downton Abbey premiered in the UK, created by Julian Fellows, starring Hugh Bonneville and an ensemble cast. And I've only seen one scene of that show, and that was the newspaper came in about the Titanic having sunk and all that stuff. Really interesting scene. 2012, Greek trade unions called a general strike to protest austerity measures. All right. We also had Japanese automakers suspended operations in China. Good, very intelligent move. Get the hell out of there. 2012, Syrian army massacred 40 civilians in Thebia, Damascus. Yikes. What the hell, man? 2014, 43 students from Ayotzinapa Teachers College went missing and presumed murdered in Iguala on their way to a protest, one of Mexico's worst human rights cases. Oh, don't go to Mexico. It's ran by the cartel. What do you think is going to happen to your white ass? You're in their land, they're going to kill you. 2014, World Health Organization has estimated that Ebola death toll has reached 3,091, with Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone hit hardest. 2017, fights broke out in Uganda's parliament during debate to raise presidential age limits. Saudi Arabia announced it is overturning its ban on women driving, the last country in the world to do so. Yeah, and they're the first country to give human rights to a robot before they did so to a woman, if they even have yet. 2017 as well, the video game Fortnite Battle Royale was released, eventually becoming one of the most popular games worldwide, only because it relies on other IPs to remain relevant. If you take out everything, outside of Fortnite from Fortnite, then Fortnite is nothing. It's literally nothing. It's literally fucking nothing. It is just a giant garbage fire with wearing 1,000 faces from more actual, real games. So, yeah. 2017, world's second largest gem quality diamond, the Lazzetti La Rona, sold for $53 million. Uh-oh, Rona. That's not good. Woo-woo. 2019, abortion was decriminalized in New South Wales, the last remaining Australian state to do so. Alright, well, we spoke about the first of something, and now the last of something else. 2019 as well, U.S. income inequality widest for over 50 years, worst in California, Connecticut, Florida, Louisiana, and New York, according to new census figures. I keep saying, guys, California sucks. Nobody wants to listen to me. Well, 2019, the World Health Organization announced 800,000 children in Democratic Republic of Congo will be vaccinated in 9 days in world's largest measles epidemic that has taken over 3,500 lives. Huh. That makes me wonder, like with how everything is going, like all of these epidemics of the past 20, 30 some odd years, I wonder if they've been intentionally released in order to bring the vaccine for a saving grace type of thing, if everything is all like, orchestrated. We'll see. 2020, 108 pilot whales survive, while 350 unfortunately die in Australia's largest mass stranding at Macquarie Harbour, Tasmania. And I think one of the reasons why, we're having such increased, beach whale situations is, submarine sonar and whatever. That stuff is loud. That stuff can hurt you underwater. If you're, 100 feet away and a submarine does a sonar, it can, pop you like a grape because of the power of the frequency of the sound through the water. Oh, it'll rip you apart. And that's screwing up whales and other creatures, in the ocean. So, yep. 2020, President Donald Trump nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett for the U.S. Supreme Court to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And this is what the loon here was talking about yesterday. Because yesterday was when RBG lied in state, the first woman to lie in state in the Capitol. And Trump brought somebody in. Otherwise, Biden would have brought somebody in, and that would have been awful. 2021 German election, center-left Social Democrats win most seats, but not a majority, overruling conservative Christian Democratic Union without its retiring Chancellor Angela Merkel. Ugh. Her. 2021 as well, Lever Cup men's tennis, Boston. Team Europe whitewashed Team World 14-1. Whoa. Team Europe won the title for a fourth consecutive edition. Andrei Rublev 3-0 for event high 6 points. All right. Also have Ryder Cup golf, Whistling Straits, Haven, Wisconsin. United States regained title, defeating Team Europe by a record 19-9. Dustin Johnson 5-0. All right. Switzerland voted to legalize same-sex marriage in nationwide referendum on this date in 2021. All right. Edward Snowden, hero of humanity. Former U.S. intelligence contractor who exposed NSA surveillance program was granted Russian citizenship by Vladimir Putin. At least, every rose has its thorns. There's always darkest before dawn. Every black cloud has a silver lining. And at least Putin saw that Snowden was trying to do something right for humanity, so gave him asylum when our own country, who's supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave, is trying to hunt this guy. Absolutely disgusting. 2022, a gunman opened fire at a school in Izhevsk, Udmurt Republic in central Russia, killing 17 people, including 11 children, and injuring 24. All right. 2022, NASA's DART mission successfully crashed into the Dimorphosis asteroid in the first planetary defense test. Huh. NASA's DART mission. Let's take a look at that here really quick. What is that? DART mission. The DART mission, NASA's demonstration of kinetic impactor technology impacting an asteroid to adjust its speed and path. DART is the first ever space mission to demonstrate asteroid deflection by kinetic impactor. The spacecraft launched on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket out of Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. All right. And as soon as this link loads up, there we go, DART. So, all right. So for further reading on this subject matter, once again, under our description, post-show, yada, 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 yada. And last but not least, 2022, probable Russian sabotage on 2 Nord Stream pipelines delivering Russian gas to Europe after seismologists record explosions in Swedish and Danish waters where 3 leaks appear. Yeah, no, the West did that. We did that. Biden did that. Or somebody on our side did that. Russia didn't do that. No. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you please check the underbar in the description for any links you may be interested in. All these links that I've been collecting throughout the show. But please, including, but not limited to, everything Omni Coalition. Check out our other video sharing, streaming sites, social networking, our affiliates, and all that stuff. For your dose of passive Vince Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Until you catch us on Friday, or we might have our notable events, weather, and sports, our news show this afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, but might not happen. But we will be back, so yeah, until you see us some point in the future, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until later, toodles!